I call this April 15th regular session of the Oconee County Board of Education to order. First thing we need is a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Burgess?
Second.
Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Next, we need a motion to approve our minutes from our March 11th regular session and our April the 8th work session.
So moved.
Mr. Hammond?
Second.
Ms. Parrish, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Next, we have recognitions. Mr. Colquitt.
Thank you, Ms. Argo. Good evening, board members and Dr. Branch. We've got, as you can tell, several people to recognize this evening, so if you'll join us up front. And as you make your way forward, I'll point out that the art display this month is provided by students of Oconee County Middle School. You can see it on the screen here. Their instructor is Chad Willingham. First this evening, the board will recognize Malcolm Ridge Middle's Tahir Marotra and Gary Kane, who placed first and third respectively in the state in the Georgia Student Technology Competition. Their categories were multimedia applications and robotics, and their advisor is Krista Stewart.
Congratulations. Been at a soccer game too. Jack of all trades.
Congratulations.
All right, you guys will stand right here in the middle. We'd love to get a picture with you.
Gary, let me get you on this side. Okay. There we go. Let's go. All right, hold tight. Got some paparazzi behind us.
Woohoo!
All right,
Next, the board will recognize service pins. We'll present service pins to Oconee County School employees with 25 and 30 years of service. Starting with 25 years, Jody Wright from Maintenance, Director of Elementary Education Jennifer Adams, Malcolm Ridge Elementary Teacher Joey Eccles, Lisa Bell from Technology, and Oconee County High School Teacher Amy Mize. Joey, let's squeeze y'all in, okay? So if you'll slide in just a little bit. Y'all squeeze in for me here, okay? Jennifer, there you go. Parrish, yeah. Yeah, looks great, y'all. Looks great. Let's try just a little bit. You're fine. You're fine.
Be hard.
Put them on your shoulders. All right, hold tight.
somebody asked me to sit.
Everybody got it? Okay. Thanks, y'all. And next, with 30 years of service, High Shoals Elementary teacher Cindy Queen and Oconee County Primary teacher Jennifer Miller.
Don't tell anybody.
Congratulations, ladies. Y'all come right here for you in the center of the show.
You're good.
Okay, looks good, y'all. Hold tight. We'd like to also mention the ones that could not be with us tonight, also with 25 years of service. Malcolm Ridge Middle School teacher Jennifer Dorsey, OCS social worker Leanne Hale, and North Oconee High School teacher Jenny Singleton. Next, the board will recognize the All-State Chorus member from Malcolm Ridge Middle, Morgan King. The director is Jordan Ritchie. right, looking at me first. Mr. Hammond, you Mr. Ransom, just a little bit. All right, hold tight.
Great job.
Next, the board will recognize the All-State Band members from Malcolm Bridge Middle, Hudson Gurley, Euban Kim, and Colin York. The director is Wes York.
Congratulations. Slide back over to the center, guys.
There you go. Everybody find out. Mr. Burch, just a little bit. That's, okay, here we go. All right, hold tight.
All right.
Now the board will recognize North Oconee High's Catherine Coletti, who placed first in the state in FFA overall showman and 11th grade showmanship, as well as in grand champion doe. Her advisor is Tim Griffith.
Did you get the buckle for that?
Right here.
All right.
No?
Don't come out the buckle.
Yeah.
Tim, help her out. Ms. Parrish, let's get you right here.
Me and Tim.
There we go.
There we go. All right, right here, please. And yes. All right, hold tight. Mr. Carter's there.
One more.
1, 2, 3. Go Titans.
Next, the board will recognize the 2024 HOSA State Champions in CPR and First Aid from North Oconee High School, Raina Zhao and Emma Nicholson. Their advisors are Catherine Colquitt and Haley Nutt. Okay, perfect. A couple like that. Hold tight.
One more. You want to go ahead.
One, two, three. Go Titans.
And lastly, the board will recognize the Class 4A state champions in boys basketball from North Oconee High School. The players are Bird Carter, Justin Payne, Justin Wise, Matthew Clausen, Kamari Brooks, Shep Thompson, Thrasher Wilkins, Chase Scott, Luke Lawson, Brody Taylor, Caden Piper, and Evan Montgomery. The coaches are Rick Rasmussen, Brian Parker, Daniel Ruiz,
I might have to switch rows.
They're going to have this draw
back.
We're on except for Mr. Ham.
The board's going to come in front.
Dr. Branch, can I go get the drone real fast?
Look, why don't you just sit in a chair, then they'll show over you. Sit right here. You can't sit there. Hey, I have to do what you tell me to do. Whether I want to or not.
Justin, make sure you can see me, okay? All is good.
Good idea.
Just get us.
That looks great. Man, you might just duck it. There you go. Perfect. All right, everybody, here we go. Hold on just a second. We'll do some more.
I know, right?
All right, stay put. Stay put.
Go fall.
We'll just hear from you, Delaney.
I know, yeah, we'll feel you, okay.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go
time!
That concludes recognition for this evening.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, please. So fun.
Next on our agenda is presentations and discussions. First, we have business services. Welcome, Ms. Hankins.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Points of pride. Yeah.
points of pride? Excuse me. Next, we have points of pride. Welcome to Oconee County Middle School. Come on up, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you, Ms. Argo, and good evening, Board of Education, Dr. Branch. First, before we begin, I want to take an opportunity to thank you guys for what you do. A lot of what we do at the school level, really quite honestly, much of what we do, if not all of it, is because of your support, your unwavering support. So thank you for the support services you provide to all of our schools in Oconee County. Secondly, thank you for opportunities like this evening to present and highlight some of the great things that we have happening in our schools. Tonight you'll hear from members of our faculty and staff, as well as 3 students, who will share how we, from the top down, look to connect, serve, and impact daily at Oconee County Middle School. Without further ado, I will turn it over to Ms. Ann Poss, one of our assistant principals at this time.
As Mr. Stevens said, I'm Ann Poss. I'm one of the assistant principals at Oconee County Middle School. At OCMS, we strive in creating a culture that encourages the students and adults in our building to connect, serve, and impact. We want to infiltrate the way people in our building think, how they make decisions, and how they act. Tonight, we are highlighting just a few of the ways our members of our school community are connecting, serving, and impact to make the school and community around them a better place. You will hear from Ms. Courtney Rapetsky, who is an 8th grade math teacher who is connecting our faculty and staff together through the Wellness Committee. Gavin Jones, an 8th grader who serves as a member of our Hero Club and serves others in our building. Eliana Abate, an 8th grader, and Mary Clay McElhaney, a 7th grader, who are making impacts through FBLA and FCCLA. First of all, I'd like to welcome Ms. Rapetsky to the podium.
Hi, good evening. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our wellness committee that we started a few years back. It actually began more as a team effort to help build teacher morale and bring back some joy to teaching during the awful year that we don't like to talk about. And so we tried different things to get our teachers feeling encouraged and connecting even through social distancing. So we had all different ways to do that. We talked about opportunities and suggestions for self-care and taking care of each other. One of those ways was food. So we had lots of fun food days. And competition. Middle school teachers and students love competition. So we had some competition opportunities for the teachers with some prizes. And so after that year, there was a lot of appreciation from the teachers that we felt. And we asked for feedback. And so we've been kind of adjusting it each year, continuing with a lot of the events that we did, and trying to keep the focus on wellness. But it really has been great to build camaraderie and keep teachers connected even across the different grade levels. So it's been great.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Gavin Jones and I'm a proud 8th grade student in Oconee County Middle School. It is such a joy and honor to be here speaking in front of all of you about not just a club, but a community, Hero Club. Hero Club is a club that meets monthly to allow typical students to interact with special needs students. We are able to assist students with engaging projects such as decorating Valentine's cards, bagging gifts for members of the community, and creating cards for our local police department. When we don't have a select theme, we allow for different grades to bring different types of snacks such as salty and sweet, and play board games with the kids in Mr. Bishop's class. All of these activities allow us to spend invaluable time with the special needs kids. Growing up, I always had an experience and knowledge of kids with special needs, especially those with autism. My brother, Chase Jones, was diagnosed with autism at a very early age. Oftentimes around the house, he will do something called scripting, which is when he memorizes whole episodes and sentences of songs or cartoons and says them out loud. His abilities never cease to amaze me. He will sometimes walk and jump around, but most importantly, he is the sweetest person I've ever met. Chase has a way of lighting up every room he walks into. He never fails to make me laugh, and it is such a privilege to learn alongside him every day. Recently, I had the opportunity to go with Mr. Bishop's class to Oconee County High School for the yearly Special Olympics. This gave me the opportunity to see the outstanding capabilities of many schools containing different special needs students. I had the privilege of watching the students race, throw, and jump in breathtaking competition. This was such a valuable experience to see only a fraction of incredible abilities of these students. In 7th grade, I had the opportunity to join Hero Club and learn all about the different types of special needs kids and how they properly interact with them. I really suggest to every student out there, while you're in the early stages of your life, meet these kids, learn with them, make friends with them, and overall learn about them. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Eliana Abate, and I'm here to speak to you about FBLA. FBLA is a club that has taught me how to become a strong leader both in and out of the classroom. FBLA assists in guiding students and opening their eyes to new opportunities. FBLA has helped me to improve my leadership skills and enables me to set a strong example for my peers. It has shown me how to properly assist people and how to teach them in a supportive and cooperative way. I'm a Christian, and telling people what I believe in is extremely important to me. I want to show people that there's a better way of life, and FBLA helps me accomplish just that. FBLA also hosts conferences that hold workshops to teach students how to prosper and thrive as a leader in their environment. These opportunities are so awe-inspiring to me It means so much to me. The fact that young people today have easy access to clubs like FFA, FCCLA, and FBLA shows me that America and the world today has reached another level of freedom in education. When Hamden L. Faulkner started this club, he saw the future of an organization that would join thousands of business clubs together. He saw a club that would focus on service, education, and progress. FBLA has become so much more today. My favorite part about FBLA is the acronym and what it stands for. Future Business Leaders of America. This shows that this generation is striving to rise up and lead, and there are clubs out there to help us do it. This is why this club is important to me. FBLA is aiding us in learning to lead wherever we are. The club consists of young people that care to seek for the world, or to seek to care for the world around them and affect it in valuable and meaningful ways. This club is the Future Business Leaders of America, and I am honored to be a part of it. Thank you.
Good evening, members of Board of Education, teachers, and fellow students. My name is Mary Clay Malheim, and I'm a proud member of our middle school's Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, or FCCLA. Tonight, I'm here to share with you why FCCLA is an essential part of our education and how it positively impacts our community. FCCLA is more than just an extracurricular activity. It's a platform that empowers students to develop real-world skills through family. It's an outlet for students that don't play sports to learn real-life skills, such as time management, leadership, and public speaking, like I'm doing now. Through FCCLA, what I like about it is that we focus on the family and community issues, and we meet new people and friends, and we get out of our comfort zone and build confidence for ourselves. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight and for considering further support of our FCCLA chapter. Together we can make a significant impact, not only in our lives, but in our community as well. I also want to thank our advisor, Ms. Dorman, for her time and support. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Branch, yes, and community members. I'm Brian Robertson. I'm the other assistant principal at Oconee Middle, and as you can see, we have a lot to be proud of already. Our mantra of connect, serve, and impact is something that has taken on a new life this year as we have just developed and grown that. We continue to teach our students to be respectful, safe, and responsible as they learn in the elementary schools. But we also want our students to connect, serve, and impact in everything that they do. There's so many things that we could have highlighted this evening, but you got to see just a glimpse of what we're proud of. Our PBIS program is also one that we connect, serve, and impact in our classrooms and throughout. There's so many moments this year that we could have shared, but we have such a short time. We're grateful for all that we've accomplished this year at Oconee Middle, and look forward to connecting, serving, and impacting in the future. And go Braves. Any questions at this time?
I think it was great. I love hearing from the students, and y'all are very good speakers already, far better than us. And then I love hearing about the teachers too, that you're fostering that community and building each other up.
If we could, let's get a picture with the students and the advisors, administrators. We brought them all.
I think we can stay behind the table if you guys want.
Yeah, y'all just want to kind of hold it in front of the table, okay?
Is that Steve's?
Yes, sir, that would be fun.
Okay.
Frank, and you've killed the display.
Y'all did a great job.
Miss Norman should probably give a little brief speech. Come in soon. That's right, yes. I agree with that.
Ms. Argo, Ms. Parrish, y'all find a hole for me, okay? Let's get one more of you right here. Mr. Burgess, you may have to slide out when they come over. No, you're perfect, you're perfect. Okay, everybody, that looks great. Got one for me. All right, hold tight. Paparazzi.
Perfect.
All right.
Great job. Okay, we're now ready for presentations and discussions. First, we have business services. Welcome, Ms. Jenkins.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Grant. Business services has 7 items of information for tonight's board meeting. The first item of information is the March cash balance report. The next item of information is the March addendum payments report totaling $4.8 million in payments during the month. The third item of information is the March budget report, the revenues and expenditures. The fourth item of information is the March ELOS collection report, showing a $5,000 decrease over the previous month and a 5.4% increase over March of the previous year with a rolling average of 11.5%. Next, we have the ELOS 5 revenue and expenditure report and the ELOS 6 revenue and expenditure report. And finally, we have the March federal funds report. This includes the business services report unless there are any questions.
Any questions? Thank you. Next report is technology. Welcome, Dr. White.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Branch. Technology has one informational item for tonight's board regular session meeting regarding the Chromebook swap based on our current replacement cycle. As a reminder, the board approved the purchase of new Chromebooks at the January 8th regular session meeting. The Chromebooks were configured, tested, and delivered before spring break. Last week, we distributed 1,400 Chromebooks at all elementary schools and began at the middle school level. We'll finish distribution this week for middle and high schools in time to ensure that eligible devices are swapped before milestone testing. That concludes technology's report, unless there are any questions.
Any questions? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next we have communications to the board. Mr. Colquitt.
Yes, ma'am, we have one citizen sign up to address the board this evening. Before I invite her up, I will read this. The board allows 3 minutes for those who sign up at the meeting. You must be a current resident of Oconee County to address the board. Please state your name, address, and topic. The board requests that you refrain from making any disparaging remarks about school system personnel. Generally, there will be no response to comments or questions posed by citizens at the meeting. All comments and questions will be received and taken under advisement by the board. However, any member of the board shall be free to respond and make public statements if he or she elects to do so. Our citizen signed up this evening is Joyce Riefsteck.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Branch. My name is Joyce Riefsteck. I live at 1141 Thornwell Drive in Oconee County. And I would like to make sure that what I say is entered into the official record of this meeting. I qualified to run for school board, post 1 chair, on Friday, March 8th, 2024. On Monday, March 11th, proposed legislation was announced at the school board meeting that was not announced beforehand or in the published agenda. The agenda was amended at the beginning of the meeting to allow for discussion. There was discussion, but there was no vote. The bill, House Bill 1496, was then introduced on March 14th, and it passed in the Georgia House on March 21st. So that's a total of 10 days from being announced at a school board meeting to being passed by the Georgia House. The state legislative delegation had met with members of the school board on December 14th, 2023. An Instagram post shows a picture of legislators Gaines, Wiedauer, and Cowserd, and school board members Burgess and Argo and Superintendent Branch at OCS, but they did not make the legislation that they were working on available to the public. In fact, it was kept so secret that an ad placed in the Thursday, March 7th edition of the Oconee Enterprise stated only, quote, intent to introduce legislation, quote. There was no indication of what this mysterious legislation was. It turns out that the mystery legislation has two components. One part to fill board vacancies in accordance with Georgia Code, and a second part to allow the board, instead of the voters, to elect the chair, which is not a problem, except for the fact that it would go into effect on January 1, 2025. Therefore, disenfranchising voters who believed they were voting for the chair in the primary election that's coming up on May 21st. According to the Georgia Open Meetings Act, all meetings shall be open to the public. All votes at any meeting shall be taken in public after due notice of the meeting in compliance with the posting of the agenda requirements. There is an exception that allows a school board to meet with legislators at the office of the legislators without that meeting being public, but the December 14th meeting was at OCS. I'm here to ask, when did the school board meet about this, and when did the school board vote about this? There's a published report of Mr. Ransom stating in a telephone conversation that the board also had discussed increasing the salaries of board members. He said the board decided not to ask for that legislation at the time, quote, because we had other things that we were more interested in getting passed, end quote. So I have to ask, when did that discussion take place? How was Mr. Burgess able to express the sentiments of the board to our legislators? And how do we know what the sentiments of the board are if there was never any discussion or vote? And why was this never voted on? Thank you.
I think the actual quote was we had, wasn't a priority to raise school board salaries, and it wasn't a vote to pass legislation, that's to put it on the ballot for vote for the general election.
When was the vote?
The vote will come up in the general election, it's not a
When was the
legislation.
school board vote?
There was not one, it's put on the ballot as a resolution.
So, it's my understanding, according to what I just said about the Open Meetings Act, that you all need to have a discussion, you need to vote on something. There was a discussion, but there was no vote here.
There was no action taken by the school board, it was action by our state representative.
That's right. So the state, how did the state representative know what you guys wanted to do?
It was on the last election, I believe it was a question on the ballot there, how we should elect or appoint vacancies on the school board.
Okay, that's not the point that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the thing where we've got on the ballot in May, and it's you and me, we're both running for post one chair. Somebody's gonna win that day. Then in November, it's gonna be on the same, of course, it'll be on the ballot, but it'll be unopposed, but then on the same ballot is the part of the law that says that no, the school board elects the chair, not the people, not the voters.
So this would
So if you go into the ballot on May 21st, if you go into a vote on May 21st and you vote for one of us, whoever's voting is voting for post one chair.
That's right, post one would become just post one.
And then,
assuming that the
so it's
legislation
not gonna say
passes.
post one chair?
At the general, or at the general
Primary.
election, it will, but if that legislation passes by vote of the county, then it will take effect at the end of the year or at the beginning of next year. The post one will be just a general post.
It'll go into effect January 1 of 2025.
That's right.
So the person that you're voting to be chair on May 21st, on November 5th, you're voting to change the rule that you already voted for on May 21st to make that person the chair.
That's correct. So the citizens will have the choice to vote in November at the general election if they want to keep things like they are, or if they want to allow the board to internally pick the chair and to appoint replacement or interim board members.
So you're answering my questions, but what you're saying doesn't answer the actual question, that you're disenfranchising every voter who votes on May 21st, because on May 21st we're voting for post one chair.
That's right.
So everybody who voted thinks they elected the chairperson. Then in November, you're saying, just forget about what we said on May 21st. We're just forgetting about what people voted for on May 21st and saying, you can vote for this other thing now?
Yes, they can vote or they can vote it down.
They can
Yes or
vote
no.
against it, but I don't think now is the time to have the debate about this.
Okay.
Correct.
But thank you for bringing that.
Thank you. I appreciate you trying to answer the questions, but I'm still absolutely not satisfied with how this all went down. But thank you.
That concludes communications to the board.
Thank you. Okay, next on our agenda is action items. Dr. Branch?
Yes, ma'am. If it pleases the board, we can take A through E as one item.
Yes.
Okay, or as one vote. Those are all out-of-state field trips that you've heard reported on by Dr. LaDuff last week, so we recommend approval as presented.
We need a motion.
So moved.
Mr.
Second.
Hammack? Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Okay, up next is the benchmark workshop. This is a curriculum that has been on the table since our last meeting. We have had no feedback according to Dr. Stansel and her team, but it has been out for review. We would ask that it be removed from the table and approved for use.
So moved.
Ms. Parrish?
Second.
Mr. Burgess, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Okay, our next item is 6 through 12 social studies and science curriculum. Again, these items have been placed on the table since our last reporting of the meeting. No feedback has been received by the public. We would ask that these items be removed from the table and be put into place to be used for our community and staff.
So moved.
Mr. Hammack?
Second.
Ms. Parrish, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
This next one took, as all these items have, but this one took quite a bit of time to get here. So appreciate the work of the staff, Dr. Stansel in particular, as we plan for our strategic planning for the next 6 years. So this is a recommendation for the board to approve the goal areas, performance objectives, and strategy map for our next strategic plan. So we would recommend approval as presented.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Ransom?
Second.
Mr. Hammack, all in favor? Passes 5-0. We do have a need to go into executive session and need a motion to do so.
I'll make a motion that the board will adjourn to executive session to discuss or deliberate upon personnel matters as described on the affidavit to be attached to the minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Parrish.
Second.
Mr. Hammack, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Okay, board members, we'll take a few minutes, clear the room, return for executive session.